superstars. This week we are going to read many books by an author named Mem Fox. She's got a bunch of wonderful books to read. In class, when we normally would read books by the same author, we would call that an author study. We would compare the different characters, we would compare the different settings, and what happened in the different stories, whether they were similar, whether they're different. I challenge you this week to talk with an adult after each story and talk about who the characters were, what the setting is, and then what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end of each story. At the end of the week, I want you to see what you think about Mem Fox. What kind of books does she like to write? Who do you think she might be like? All right, well, today we are going to read one of my favorite books by her. It is called Koala Lou, and it's written by Mem Fox and illustrated by Pamela Lofts. There was once a baby koala so soft and round that all who saw her loved her. Her name was Koala Lou. The emu loved her, the platypus loved her, and even tough little koala claws next door loved her. But it was her mother who loved her most of all. 100 times a day she would laugh and shake her head and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." Whenever she stretched in the early morning sun, or climbed a gum tree, or bravely went down the path all by herself, her mother would smile and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." The years passed and other koalas were born, brothers and sisters for Koala Lou. Soon her mother was so busy she didn't have time to tell Koala Lou that she loved her, although of course she did. Every night, as she curled up under the stars, Koala Lou thought about the times when her mother had looked at her and said, "Koala Lou, I do love you." And she longed for her to say it again. One night, Koala Lou had a splendid idea. Preparations had begun for the Bush Olympics. She would enter the Olympics. She would compete in the gum tree climbing event, and she would win. And her mother would fling her arms around her neck and say again, "Koala Lou, I do love you." Koala Lou began her training right away. She jogged and puffed and lifted weights and panted. She hung from a branch with one claw at a time till she ached. She did push-ups till her stomach hurt. And last of all, she climbed the tallest tree that she could find, over and over and over again. Sometimes her mother would watch her and ask, "How you doing, Blossom?" "Fine, just fine," Koala would reply. At last, the day of the Bush Olympics arrived. Koala Lou, Koala Claus, also entered the gum tree climbing event, and everyone knew how fast she was. But Koala Lou wasn't scared. She saw her mother in the crowd and imagined her saying again, "Koala Lou, I do love you." Her heart filled with hope. It was Koala Claus who went first. Her climb was a record-breaking 22 meters in 70 seconds flat. The spectators whistled and cheered and wildly waved their party hats. "Can I do better than that?" wondered Koala Lou. "I must." As she stepped toward the tree, a hush fell over the crowd. "On your mark, said the kookaburra. Get set, go! Koala Lou leapt onto the tree. Up and up and up she climbed, higher and higher and higher, faster and faster and faster until there she was, right at the very top. The spectators roared and clapped and stamped their feet. But she wasn't fast enough. In spite of all her training and all of her hoping, it was Koala Claus who won the gum tree climbing. Koala Lou came second. Koala Lou went off and hid. She heard the shouts of the Bush Olympics and cried her heart out. When the first stars of the evening appeared in the sky, Koala Lou crept home through the dark and up into the gum tree. Her mother was waiting for her. Before she could say a word, her mother had flung her arms around her neck and said, "Koala Lou, I do love you. I always have, and I always will." And she hugged her for a very long time. Did you enjoy that story as much as I did? I love Koala Lou.